Hi, my name's Kerry. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to take you through a Pilates Fusion class. This is a fusion of Pilates, yoga and ballet. So if you've ever been to a class featuring that type of exercise before, then you will see it all blended together here. My background is in dance. I was a professional dancer before I became a fitness instructor. Ballet was a passion of mine. And then I learnt about yoga and Pilates and realised that those three types of exercise blend together really well. So in this session, we're going to focus on improving and building your core strength. That's that band of support around your centre. And then out from that, we're going to work on lengthening and strengthening your muscles, as well as joint support and joint stability for your ankles, knees, hips and shoulders. We'll also work on your flexibility, and it's a mindful class, so it's focused on bringing your mind and your body together, bringing all your attention into the way your body moves. We'll end with a relaxation phase, which will be about 8 minutes long at the end of the class, just to round it all up perfectly, to give you that real hour of restorative you time. This class is pitched at a level that is suitable for beginners. I'll show you a base level. If you are a beginner, just stick with that base level and repeat it. And then I'll also incorporate some more intermediate and advanced moves as an option. So don't feel that you must push yourself to the advanced level if you are just starting out, or if you need to just take it steady at the moment. I also recommend that you have a good mat that's not slippy and plenty of space around you. A drink of water. You will need a little drink from time to time throughout the session. You can pause me at any point to have a drink. That's the beauty of doing a class online rather than in person where we keep going. And also you may want to have a small cushion if you need it for neck support or for lower back support or for anywhere on your spine. So feel free to use that at any point. You may see me bring the cushion in myself. Not a necessity, but if you feel you need a little bit of extra support, a small cushion is perfect. Okay then, it's time to begin. Get yourself ready and then press play. We're ready to begin today's session with our warm-up. First of all, we're going to start with our feet in ballet first position. So I'll show you off of the mat. That's heels together and feet turned out in ballet first. From there, bring your arms into lower first position with your thumbs tucked in and your shoulder blades sliding down your back, flat on your back. Turn your tailbone down toward the floor. So imagine your pelvis is a bowl and it's filled to the brim with water. If you were to tilt it forward, all that water would come spilling out. And the same if you were to go backwards. Have a little go of that, have a little feel. So tilting forward and back. And we want to bring it right to centre, to a neutral position where your tailbone points down towards the floor. From there, we're going to make sure that our shoulders are stacked over our hips. And then if you'd like to join me, you can close your eyes here. And with your eyes closed, we're just going to become aware of the three corners of the feet connected to the floor. From your big toe to little toe and to your heel, with no heavy pressure points. So we have that weight spread through the feet. And with your eyes closed, you might find that you rock or sway a little bit. Try to use those sways to centre yourself. There, your ankles are directly under your knees and your knees directly under your hips. Now on your pelvic floor muscles, we're going to lift gently up and in from underneath us. Imagine your pelvic floor muscles underneath you are like an elevator. And we're going to lift up. The top of the building will be the 10th floor, but we're not going to go quite that high. We're going to go to about the 3rd floor of the lift and we're going to hold it there and stay there. And then we're going to draw your belly button back in towards your spine, knitting the muscles from the sides, the top and the bottom of the abdominal area, and drawing it back to the spine. And again, we want a nice core engagement, but not so tight that you can't keep it held. And now the centre point of your chest, your sternum, travels down toward the floor with your chest lifted and open, and your shoulders low and your shoulder blades sliding down your back. Your neck is long and your ears are reaching for the sky, so that although you are tall and lifted, you also feel grounded. And take a nice deep purposeful breath in through your nose, flowing through your chest and down into your rib cage, and exhale through your mouth. And as you take these first mindful breaths, you begin to clear your mind, ready for this hour of you time. A time to focus on just the way your body moves and feels. Those first purposeful breaths giving energy to your body. And now open your eyes with me and focus forward. And we'll begin with a plie, and this is how we're going to gently warm up the ankles, knees, hips and shoulders today. And as we plie, we check that the knees are turning out to the sides rather than going forwards, and those heels are touching. And letting the tailbone travel down to the floor. So remember that bowl full of water I told you about. We're not going to drop a single drop of water out of that pelvic bowl as we lower and lift. And purposeful breaths. Inhale, exhale. Nice and deep on that knee bend without lifting the heels. And at the back, gently squeeze your shoulder blades together. Already feeling more energized from that breath. And then stay out. And now we're going to releve. That means lifting up onto all 10 toes, lift your heels, travel up and overhead with your arms. So we're in ballet fit on the arms. Shoulders low, away from the ears. Don't worry if you lose your balance, just have another go. Good stuff, lower the heels. Lift them, bend your knees. Come into a full plie. Now this is just as low as you can go and still get up under control. Doesn't have to be all the way down here. And lift, open. Out into ballet second position. Turn out your feet. Your heels should be a little wider than shoulder width apart. And plie in second. Now here's where we really get to warm up those hips. Full breath. Oxygen is energy. Remember, we're not just breathing into the chest here, it's that lateral thoracic breathing. It's that breathing down to the rib cage. Check your pelvic floor is still lifted up the elevator and the abdominal muscles engaged too. And gently squeezing the shoulder blades together. So we're loosening up all around the joints. Good work. Let's do one more. Stay out, releve, lift up onto your toes again. Try and get all 10 toes still connected to the floor with the heels high. And lower, full plie. Push down a little bit deeper this time. Good. Arms open, hands to hips. Now move into a side to side lunge. Have a little glance down and make sure your knee is coming over the line of your ankle toward the end of your toes, but not past. So we have that perfect joint alignment through ankle, knees and hips. And your torso doesn't sway, it just travels with the legs. So your torso is strong all around this band of support around your centre. Waist muscles, abs, lower back. Okay, let's go a bit more powerful on those legs. We want to get them really warm today. How are you feeling today? How's your body feeling? Don't worry if you're feeling a bit sluggish or stiff. We're going to sort that out. You'll soon be feeling really warm and energetic. Okay, let's stay on this side. Push into the knee bend, don't let the knee turn in. Straight leg on the other side and reach from the floor. Shoulders down, big stretch across the room from one wall to the other. Keep that neck long, push into the knee bend a little bit with me. Well done. Okay, that's a nice stretch on the inner thighs there and here on the quads. Now turn both feet. Push your back heel down into the floor, lean forward. Squeezing in those abs again. Remember, we're pulling in there on the front. Long line from the top of the head to the back heel. So we have that really nice lengthening out on the calf there. Now take your arms up, palms forward, and step back into a lunge on the back knee. Now I want your fingertips to be over your back knee, so everything's aligned. Fingertips to shoulders to hip to knee. And a nice dynamic lunge now for 4. Down, lift. 3, lift. 2, lift. 1, lift. Good. And now come to the end of your mat. Let's put our heels onto the end of the mat. And tailbone down to the floor again. Hold all that water in the pelvic bowl. Bring your chin into your chest. Round and curve your shoulders. Roll slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Imagine your spine like a bike chain. We're lowering one link at a time toward the legs. Now we're not going to go very far. About halfway, rest your hands onto the top of your legs. Take a breath and reverse this. Roll back up, let your arms and head just hang. Lifting up the links of the bicycle chain. Keeping your belly button drawn back in towards your spine. Keeping the pelvic floor lifted up the elevator. As we reach the top, drop your shoulders, let them slide down your back and lift your chin. Good. We're going to do it again. Now this time we're going to go a little bit deeper, but just as deep as feels good for you. Chin to chest. Rounded shoulders. And slowly roll down. Through your spine, one vertebrae at a time. Bend your knees a little. And go as low as feels comfortable for you, gently stretching the back and into the hamstrings and letting your head and arms hang like you were a rag doll, just hang there. And purposeful breath. Take a big inhale and on your exhale roll up again slowly, straightening the legs first as you unroll the spine. Take your time, use that long exhale to lift. Doesn't that feel so good on your back? And drop those shoulder blades down your spine. Lift your chin, stand tall. And come back into a side to side lunge on your mat or behind it, whatever feels right. Okay, how are you feeling now? Are you a bit warmer? So we've got all the fluid around the joints warmed up. Ankles, knees and the hips. So if you were clicky at the start or a bit clunky, that should be starting to ease off a little bit. It's like getting the engine warmed up. Now I'm just going to check I'm not leaning forward at all. So I'm going to open my chest, drop my shoulders. I'm going to lift my pelvic floor again in case I've forgotten about that. And the abs. Good. Now let's get really dynamic on those legs. Breathe. And stay right here. Check your turnout on your feet. Push into your knee bend. Come from the floor, reach up to shoulder height. Drop those shoulders. Touch the walls with your fingers. This is such an active pose you're doing here. You've really got that push across, that pull out to the sides, and right here in the middle, that pull in. So lots going on. And as you do it, you breathe, you feel tall. Nice. And turn those feet. Push that back heel down. Lean forward. Pushing the heel into the floor. Pulling the belly button away from the front bent knee. So now that back leg feels long. And there's no pressure in your lower back because you're leaning forward a little to keep the joints aligned. And let's go into our lunge now. Palms forward. We're going to warm up those quads. Step back. Create a right angle on the back knee. Fingers over the back knee. Push down, 4, lift, 3, lift, 2, lift and 1, lift. Good. Opening the arms, coming to the other side of the mat with your heels on the floor, your feet parallel. So your second toe next to your big toe should be in line with your hip bones. Check that. And chin to chest, rounded shoulders. Roll through the bicycle chain, through your spine, down towards your legs. Bend your knees. Go a little deeper. As deep as you comfortably can go. Feeling like a nice stretch. And now we're going to get those hands all the way down to the mat. Big bend on knees if you need to. And we're going to walk it out till the knees touch the floor. And we have one hand under each shoulder. Adjust this and one knee under each hip. Stay on your toes if you like, or put the tops of your feet down. Keep your neck out in line with your spine so you're not tucking your chin in, so we're not looking back at our knees. We're looking at the mat. Now from here, engage your pelvic floor again. Pull your pelvic floor up the elevator, 3 floors up, and then drawing your belly button to your spine like you were tightening the notches on a belt. Let's come into the 5th notch of the belt. Hold. Good work. Come back. Walk your hands back to your knees. Standing tall, heels down, big bend on the knees still, rounded shoulders, head hangs like a rag doll, And we slowly uncurl, like lifting a string of pearls. Take your time because that just feels so good on your spine. Drop your shoulders, stand tall and take a breath. Perfect. Okay, we're going to move into some bigger dynamic exercises now. So here we're going to do a Ballet Plie into a Curtsy. So we're going to turn out the toes. Position 1, this is going to be an exhale. That's your plie. Leave out the arms if you want to keep it at basic level. We have plie exhale, equal bend on both knees and hips. And as you do it, you're keeping that pelvic floor engaged. Next, we're going to go into a curtsy. And as we curtsy, we step back. We bend both knees equally, keeping our eyes and chest forward. And we see if we can get our fingertips to touch the floor, but don't worry if they don't quite. In fact, mine are not quite touching the floor. That's going to be an exhale too. Come to centre, inhale. Exhale, equal bend. Step back, inhale. Exhale. Eyes and chest forward in curtsy. Leave out the arms for all of this and just keep them in front of you if you need to take it to a basic level. Also, do a smaller bend like this if you're just starting out at a basic level. A deeper bend will be more advanced and bringing in the arms makes it more advanced. Shall we do it together for 10 counts? Don't worry about the breathing to begin with, but then try and do the breathing with me as you start to get comfortable with the movement pattern. Here we go, for 10 of these. One more set. Feet together, heels together, arms down. Shoulder roll front to back. Now tip that tailbone down toward the floor and hold on to every drop of water in your pelvis again. Good work. If you want to do a second set of that, pause the video now and do another set of 10. And then start again, ready for the next exercise. So we're going to do the spinal twist now. We're going to put the weight into the back foot. And we're going to let the big toe at the front just touch the floor without any weight in it. We're going to lift out of the supporting hip. Let me show you from the side. So I'm lifting up out of my supporting hip. I'm taking the arms up, shoulders down. Beginners, start here like this and keep the arms with elbows at shoulder height, neck long. Intermediates and advanced, out to the side. Exhale, rotate the spine. I'm going to come forward, so we've got a little room for this rotation. Exhale. Inhale, centre. We're not going to move the knees and hips. Inhale, centre. Exhale, inhale, centre. Carry on, you keep going. Now imagine your hip bones are like headlights. There's a headlight on each hip bone and those headlights are going forward and they're not going to stop. So you continue. Exhale. Beginners, you'll be like this. And see how that's a short, sharp exhale, no movement on the knee. Advanced people, lift the knee to hip height. I'll demonstrate it from the side. Exhale. Inhale, centre. Exhale, back. Keep going. Imagine your spine is like a wet tea towel. As you rotate, you wring it out and you get every drop of water from your spine. And you're isolating your torso, so this is going to really improve your range of movement, your flexibility in your spine, which will give you extra strength as you turn in rotation. Well done, you've done a lot of those there. Bring the arms down, take your shoulders low. We're going to go into Prances like a horse on the spot. So this is up with the heel, down with the heel. I'll show you from the side. Now imagine, I like this visualization, that you were in a Barbie box. You're a doll, you're a Barbie doll. And it's quite tight against your sides. So we're not going to sway outside. We're not going to move to the sides, or forward or back. We're going to keep in our box. Lift the heel, drop the heel, stand tall, let your shoulder blades slide down your back. I'm going to do it to the side just to demonstrate the next part. And we're going to flex at the wrist and bring the hands up to shoulder height. This is a really great way to get your arms to engage as you move. On the spot. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Now, you can face forward. I might face the side just to demonstrate. Step one foot in front of the other, directly in front of the other. Beginners, you're going to do this on a flat foot. One foot directly in front of the other. If you're intermediate or advanced, go up into a releve hold. Don't worry if you wobble a little bit, that's normal, that's good, we're just gaining strength. From there, we're going to take our arms up into a Y shape. Now, as you exhale, squeeze and contract the muscles of your back. I'm going to do this in a flat foot for the basic beginner's option. Squeeze and contract. Now give me an inhale to release. Let go in the middle. Now as you exhale, go out into a T shape on your arms. Squeeze and contract. Don't forget your core. And then release on an inhale. Now into a W shape or a U shape. Squeeze, contract. So bracing the muscles of your back. Feel how each letter that you do works different muscles in your back. Now go up into an I. Squeeze and contract and hold. Remember, intermediates and advanced, you're in a releve the whole time, not rocking the ankles. Inhale, release. Good job, everyone. Let's do an L. Bring your elbows into your sides. Don't let them leave your sides. Press your palms right back. Oh, that's a good one. That works those lats down your centre of your back. Well done, and release. Feel that, those big muscles down your back working really hard. Shake it off. Fantastic work. We're going to go back to our spine twist. Put your big toe on the floor. Swapping legs from last time. Whichever leg you did before, swap it over. Lift out of your supporting hip. So we haven't got any weight sitting down here. Beginners, hands up here in front of your chest. Elbows don't drop from shoulder height. Long neck, ears flying up to the sky there. Advanced intermediates, here we go. And exhale, rotation. Inhale, center. Advanced people, bring that toe off the floor, get your knee to hip height. Give it a go. Inhale, center, exhale, rotation. Remember, use your big toe to stabilize you if you need to. And imagine those car headlights on your hip bones pointing directly forward. Good, keep going for me. Use that short exhale, that sharp exhale as you turn. And that's going to give you that bigger contraction. So really working the whole cylinder of your core. I'm going to do a few more with you. I'm going to go up to the advanced level for my demonstration again. And beginners right here. Couple more. Good work. Arms down. Go back into Prances on the spot. Heel lift, heel drop. You're back in your Barbie box. And flex at the wrists. Keep it really strong on the arms. Keep that going. So with Pilates, every movement is very precise and very controlled. You have control over every limb, every extremity of your body. So don't just float on through. No, strong, focused, engaged. Good work. Okay, drop those arms, roll the shoulders, take the tension out. Now, we're going to go back into the staggered foot stance. So you're going to put the other foot in front this time. We want the heel directly in line with the toes. One foot directly in line with the other. It's going to put you a little off balance, and that's what we want. So, beginners, basic level, flat feet. Intermediates, advanced, up into releve. Good work. Let's go for it on the back work now. Up into a Y, shoulders down. Give me an exhale, contract. Squeeze those back muscles, engage your core. Inhale, release the back. Into a T, squeeze, contract. Get that neck long. So the brace there is through the back, not the neck. Inhale, release. Use your breath, enjoy your breath. Into your W, squeeze, contract, hold. Inhale, release. Let's go up long. Reach it up, stretch it up, make an I. Well done. Release. Last one, L. Elbows in, don't let them come off your sides. Press back with the palms. Feels so good, that one. And release on your inhale. heels down. Bring your arms down by your sides. Let's go into a yoga chair. Again, check that your foot stance is the toe next to the big toe in line with the hip bones. So we're slightly parted. And as you inhale, we're going to touch the floor, but not really, it's just a visualization with the fingertips. We're going to paint along the floor. We're going to paint up the wall and all the way to the roof with your arms in line with your ears. Sit down as if you were sitting on a child's chair. Your back is extended, your spine is long, and you breathe with purpose. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand, open, good work. Well done, shoulder roll, release. Perfect, well done everybody. Have a little sip of water if you want to, and then we're going to move into some push-ups. So we're going to stand here on the edge of the mat, and again we're going to check that alignment, which we just did, so we know what we're doing there with the toes. We're going to do something we did in the warm-up, and we're going to move on to a full exercise. Chin to chest, rounded shoulders, belly button staying back to the spine, dropping arms, rolling through the spine down towards the floor. Bend the knees, come all the way down, walk your hands out, keep your toes tucked under, one hand under each shoulder, pushing into the toes, lifting the knees an inch off of the floor, with a nice tabletop flat back so there's no sink between your shoulder blades. Neck long in line with the spine, just an inch off of the floor. I went too high there. We only want to be hovering off of the floor. Remember to breathe. Full, purposeful, long breaths. If you feel yourself getting a little bit too hot, pop your knees down, take a break. Knees down, good work. Walk it back. Back to the knees, sit up for a moment. Roll the shoulders from front to back. Squeeze those shoulder blades down your spine. Walk it back out. This time, take one hand off of either side of the mat. Both hands, off of each side of the mat. So we've got a nice wide hand pec space. And then we're going to go into a box press up. So just take the knees back a little to keep them in line with your hips. And make sure your chest is in between your hands. As you exhale, we're going to press downwards. So this is not nose between hands. Chest between hands, exhale. Inhale to lift. Now you should feel a little tremor in your biceps. In fact, I can see my arms tremoring a little bit there. Tabletop flat back, pelvic floor lifted up the elevator, abs engaged. Chest between hands, elbows out to the side. Exhale down. Inhale up. Advanced and intermediate people, take the hands out a bit further so you can hinge on the top of the knees and create a line from your knees to the top of your head. Carry on, give me 4 more. Exhale down, inhale up. Give me 3 more. Exhale down, inhale up. Stay in a box if you need to keep it at that base level. Don't move your neck, keep your neck in line with your spine. So we're not dipping the head to the floor, we're dipping the chest. 1 more. Exhale down, inhale up. Good work. Bring your knees together. Take your hands out in front and stretch from your fingertips down to your hips. A deep inhale there. Feel your back expand. And exhale. Now you can rest your forehead on the mat and you can roll your forehead side to side against the mat, massaging the third eye area. Great for awakening the mind and body connection. So you can even close your eyes and just enjoy that feeling as you rub your forehead back and forth. And those purposeful breaths just really releasing your lower back. Good work. So now we're going to come to the end of the mat with your heels or your toes, depending on how you want to do this, because we're going to do the Pilates roll down now. So I'm going to do it with a bent knee. You could do it with a straight leg if it feels more comfortable on your hip flexors. This is where you might want a cushion as well for lower back support, but it's not a necessity. It's just that I have quite an inwardly curved spine at the bottom, so I'm using that for support there. So here, make sure that that second toe next to your big toe is in line with your hips. You're sitting right up on top of your seat bones, shoulders down, arms up parallel to the legs. Inhale deeply. Exhale, we're going to tilt that pelvis forward, rounding the spine, dropping the belly button into the spine, feeling a tremor on the abs, rolling up back to seated. And again, exhale as you roll, tilting your pelvis forward, rounding and curving the spine, keeping the chin off of the chest, and lifting back up to seated. That's a big one. Don't drop your chin into your chest. Imagine a grapefruit on your neck. Inhale, exhale, round the spine, tilting pelvis forward, dropping the belly button in. A little bit further this time. Oh yes, feeling it now, feeling that shake. Well done, come back up to seated. Inhale, this time we'll go all the way down. Exhale, roll down, tilting the pelvis forward. Advanced people, take the arms back in line with your ears. Basic level, we're just going to keep the arms by our sides. Inhale to release and exhale to roll back up. Okay, so advanced people, I'll demonstrate your version this time, otherwise keep with the arms out in front. Inhale, exhale, roll down. So I'm going to keep the arms in line with my ears all the way down to the floor. Inhale at the bottom and exhale to roll back up. Try and keep that chin off of your chest. Sit tall. Let's go again. Inhale, exhale, roll down. Slowly try and get that exhale to last you all the way down to the floor. And exhale back up to seated. Should we do 2 more of those? At the top, right up on top of the seat bones, keeping the chin off of the chest. Inhale. Exhale, slow roll, tilting the pelvis forward, dropping the belly button back into the spine. Basic level, arms here in line with your hips. Inhale and exhale, roll up. Nice and slow and controlled. Advanced people, inhale and exhale, roll down, keeping your arms in line with your ears. Now this is your last one, so when you get to the floor this time, I want you to stay down there. Okay, well done everybody at this point. Keep those knees in line with the ears. Keep your shoulder blades relaxed onto the floor. Now, it's harder when you're lying down sometimes to keep the core engaged. So what I want you to focus on doing here is slightly drawing those adductor muscles together, the inside of the thighs, but not allowing the knees to touch. So focusing on being engaged in the adductors, lifting up that pelvic floor, and again drawing the belly button down to the spine. Now the bottom rib cage, bone of your rib cage, we're going to think about drawing that towards the hip bone. What we want to do is make sure we haven't got flared ribs, so we're nice and engaged and closed on the ribs at this point. Now when you've got that feeling, we're going to lift one knee up to a right angle in line with the floor. So we have ankle to knee, down to hip. And then we're going to bring the other one up. Well done, hold that tabletop position and lower. And as you lower, keep that connection. Abs pulling down, belly button to spine, and lower the other foot. If you found that hard and your back was rising off of the floor, stick with just one leg at a time, alternating. So basic level would be up, and we have that connection in the lower back to the floor, and then we put that down and we alternate, we do the other side. But if you're more advanced and a bit more intermediate level, we go 1, squeeze and contract through the core, and 2, lifting up and lowering, 1 and 2. Now there will be a little distance in your lower back off of the floor because of our natural curves, so we're not trying to get our lower back to fully touch the floor, but we just want the engagement on the front so we have a little imprint of the lower back there on the floor. Let's try it again. Inhale and lift on the exhale, tabletop position on the leg. Shall we go for the second leg as well? And 2, good. Have another couple of practices if you need to. Otherwise, the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to bring those shoulder blades up from the floor, pulling up from the centre of the body and keeping the neck off of the floor as the shoulder blades as well. Now we're not lifting through the neck, the lift is right here in our centre. Got that feeling, a little tremor in the abs? Good, now give me a big inhale at the top and an exhale to lower. With the head first, then the arms, then one leg, keep that lower back imprint. Keeping the core engaged, and leg 2. Oh, these slow and controlled exercises are the most challenging. If you need the support, put the pillow under your neck. Just an option if you need the support. Okay, this time we're going to add in a little more. Lift one leg, squeezing those abs down. Lift the other leg under control, not rising with the lower back at all. Now we bring the head, neck, shoulders, top of the back up as we pull up through the abs. Keeping the chin off of the chest. And now we're going to go into the 100. Keep those feet apart, keep the adductors, the inside of the thighs tight. Pulse with the hands for 5 breaths in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Inhale for 5. Keep the neck relaxed. Exhale for 5. And that core engagement through the abs, through the pelvic floor. As you inhale for 5 beats and you exhale for 5 beats. Carry on for me. And remember, you can support your neck with a pillow if you need to. Draw through the abs, pulling up as if there was a string attached to your belly button. One more set. Inhale for 5 breaths. Exhale for 5 breaths. Head to the floor. Arms to the floor. One foot lowers, the other foot lowers. And then just to go into a stretch from there, let's take the legs out long, take the arms overhead and stretch from your fingertips all the way down to your toes. Make your body as long as it will possibly go. Oh, that feels good. A nice full yoga body stretch. Perfect. Let's do one more exercise here on our backs before we turn over. Let's do the ballet beat. Got to incorporate a bit of ballet to the floor. Take those legs up long. We want to get your toes over your hips. Beginners, you're going to bend your knees a little bit and that's fine. It's just a way of taking a bit of tension out of your hamstrings if you need it. But get the legs as straight as you can get them. And we're going to go into a beat. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Quick, strong, sharp. Legs long. So like a ballet dancer, jumping up in the air, beating the feet back and forth. Keep your shoulders relaxed into the floor. For 4, 3, 2, hold the legs still. Even if the knees are bent, hold them still. Keep the abdominal muscles drawn in and down. And lower your legs just to where you can still hold the contraction through the front and you have not lifted your lower back at all. It's still got that same distance off of the mat. Hold it, don't hold your breath. Breathe normally. Remember, you can do it with your knees bent as well. 4, 3, 2, bring it in. Oh, good job, a nice static contraction. Now release the knees. So a little up down motion, that's going to let that lower back let go again. And I want one more set of ballet beats from you, please. Take those legs up. Advanced people, your toes will be directly over your hips. Let's go. Fast, back, forth, tight, strong, long legs. Focus on the length of your legs. Squeeze in those adductors on the inner thighs. Engage the abs, no rotation in the core. Stop. Lower the legs slowly. Remember, bend your knees if you need to. Stop where you've got a good tremor contraction in the abs. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in and hug. Ooh, right up. Let those hip flexors release. Good job. And an up, down motion. Feet to the floor. Drop your knees over to the side. Good work. Okay, here on our sides then, we're going to have one hand under the shoulder. We're going to use the other fingertips to stabilise us in front. We're going to put a heel in front of the ankle. So we have one knee bent forward and we have one knee bent up to the roof. We're also going to make sure we're sitting on top of our hip rather than rolled back like this. So we want to make sure we're right up on top of the hip. That's going to keep the spine from having any unnatural curves. So we still have our neutral curves of the spine. Pull up out of this supporting shoulder. First thing I want you to do is lift your hips upward. Not very high, just a little. And lower back down. Just to get a feel for it. Now if you're happy with that, pop the hand on the outside of your legs, push up again. A little bit higher this time, lifting the hips. And lowering. If you're struggling with your wrist at all, you could do this on your knuckle instead, or you could use a pillow for support, or a little wedge if you've got a foam wedge. Okay, I'm going to go a bit higher. Pushing the pelvis upward, hips upward. We're going to take that arm, and this is an option. You could leave it on your leg. We're going to take it up and over to create a rainbow. Hips high, down to the knee, stretch your fingertips to that knee. That feels like a big arching, stretching rainbow, belly button pointing forward, and lower on an exhale. Try it again with me. Make sure you're not putting pressure in this wrist. So we're lifting up out of the wrist and the shoulder. I'm going to go straight in with the advance, but you can keep your hand in front of you or on the leg if you want. Inhale, exhale. And inhale, exhale. Should we do it one more time? And take it down. Let's go around to the other side. So not to be confused with the side plank where we have all of our joints aligned from ankle to knee to shoulder to hip. It's not a side plank. We're making like a clamshell position on the legs. Here it is. Heel in front of the ankle. And when we lift the hips, we bring them up high. So we're creating a rainbow from our body. Put the hand under the shoulder. Lift up out of the supporting wrist, supporting shoulder. Remember, beginners, right here. Make sure you're not rocking back on your hips. You're right up on top of your hip bone. And lift on an exhale. And lower. Perhaps put the hand on the outside of your leg. Inhale to set, exhale to lift. Good. Really working that core, isn't it? Working the side obliques. Lower it down. I'm going to go up with the big one this time with the arm. You can follow me if you want to. Inhale and exhale, lift. Over the head. Oh, that feels good on those obliques, your waist muscles. No rotation in the spine, belly button pointing forward. Just keep the neck relaxed. And come down, exhale to release. Should we do 2 more of these? You can just go and flow with the arm with me, bringing in that long balletic arm, nice and graceful, and lower. Good work. Pelvic floor still engaged, yes? Not let that go? One more. And up and over stretch. Perfect. And take it all the way down to the floor. Perfect stuff. We're going to come down and lie on our fronts now. So I want you to lie down flat on your front. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to talk into the mat, but I'll do it with you in a moment. Lying down flat on your front. Make sure that you're engaging the core still, because when you're lying on your front you tend to let go a little bit. We don't want to let go. So we're going to draw that belly button still back up towards your spine as you're lying down. So actually, visualise there was a line of ants crawling under your tummy and you don't want to squish them. So you're going to draw your belly button away from your mat. And then you're also going to continue to lift up and in on the pelvic floor. But what we don't want to do is squeeze our bum muscles at this point. So the way to stop us doing that is to bring your big toes to touch and to turn your heels out a little bit. And keep your shoulder blades down your spine with your palms facing up beside you to begin with, and your nose touching the floor. Okay, so I've talked you through it. I'm going to do it with you. Good work. Okay, so from here, we're going to take an inhale to set, and we're going to exhale, lift the upper body just a little until we feel a contraction in the lower back. And then we're going to lower it down. Again on an exhale to lower. Okay, are you pulling your belly button away from that line of ants running under your tummy? Keep doing it. Even when you lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. That's hard, isn't it? It's tricky not to push your tummy down, but you can do it, it's just practice. And exhale and lower. And one more time. Exhale to lift, keep those shoulders down, keep looking at the mat, and lower it slowly. Okay, this time let's do a shoulder rotation with it. So we're going to go inhale, shoulders lift, then body lifts. Exhale, shoulders down, body lowers. So it's a rotation as we move. Inhale, shoulders lift, body lifts. Exhale, shoulders down, squeeze shoulder blades together, and down. 2 inhales, 2 exhales. Big toes touching, not squeezing the glutes, lifting up and in on the pelvic floor. Inhale, shoulders lift, body lifts. Exhale, shoulders down, body down. One more time. Inhale, shoulders lift. Exhale, shoulders down. Good work. Pop your hands in by the side of your chest, elbows close. sit up, in box, sit back, stretch from fingertips down to hips. Now I'm going to give you a longer, more deeper back stretch. I'm going to take both hands off of the mat to one side and keep those fingertips pulling away from your hips. Ah, doesn't that feel good? It's so nice to lengthen out the spine. Increasing the stretch on the diagonal and then coming through centre, walking hands off of the other side and again stretching through the spine. Okay, let's bring ourselves back up to centre. We're going to create a tabletop back now. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. So we did this one a little earlier. And again, you might want a wedge for your wrists if you struggle with wrist cramp or tightness in your wrists. In class, I'm going to have some wedges with me the next week or two, so you can have a go with one. So from here, we're going to slide out the fingertips. The little finger, the pinky of one hand, slide it away. As you do it, don't reach, so we're not going to stretch with the shoulder away. We're going to keep the shoulders the same distance apart still and slide it back. As you do it, focus on drawing your belly button up and stabilising your hip bones. Let's do the other hand. Stretch the finger away. So we draw with the fingertip along the mat, but we don't raise the shoulders. Pull it back. And as you do it, we don't lose any core engagement from underneath us. Slide, long, bring it back. One more time, on the other side. Slide, bring it back. Perfect. Now we're going to do that with the big toe. We're going to slide the big toe away without rotating the hip bones. Imagine those car headlights on your hip bones. They're pointing at the ground. Well, yes, they're pointing at the ground, aren't they? So as they go, we're not going to turn or rotate the hips. Big toe slides along the mat. Imagine that tight belt around the centre of your body. Your abs have got this imaginary belt that you're tightening up to the 5th notch. Good, okay, now I want you to take the opposite hand to leg and slide it out. Beginners, keep it there on the floor. Advanced people, lift it. Slowly, controlled, to hip and shoulder height. Do not let your lower back sag. Keep that long engaged line. So we have from big toe to fingertips, one long line through the joints. A little wobble here is normal, a little shake. Basic level, don't lift the fingertips and toes, just keep them on the floor. Neck in line with the spine, lower it down. Touches the floor, slides back in. You will have gone off centre, so rebalance yourself, recenter yourself. Should we try it on the other side, everyone? Are you still with me? Okay, here we go. Let's go opposite hand to foot, slide it away. Basic level's going to stay right there. You're not reaching out with the shoulders are aligned. Big toe, little finger touching the floor. Advanced people, up we go. Point into your toe, lengthen your leg. Make that leg as long as it will go. Make the arm as long as it will go, but without moving the shoulders. Keep that belt tight around your centre. Good work, well done. Some of these slow and controlled exercises work us so hard. Okay, I think we're going to do one more rep for each side. Where's your tabletop? Keep that nice strong tabletop position. Off we go. Slide with the fingertip and the big toe. Hold it, lengthen it. Lift it. Keep your lower back supported with your abs. And lower. Close, readjust, get that balance between your 4 points of contact with the floor. And one more time on the other side. Slide, hold, lift. Everything I've done today, you could pause and do more repetitions of if you wanted to do it for longer. And down and close. Now give me your cat stretch. Inhale, start to round under. Exhale, tailbone down to the floor, rounded spine, chin to chest. Imagine a double-decker bus trying to get onto your belly. You've got to make room for it. Nice inhale, exhale, look up, go into cow. Tip pelvis up, arching the lower back. Oh, that's a nice ab stretch as well, isn't it? Come back to neutral. Bring yourself around to seated at the front. Okay, just sit with your legs however's comfortable for you at this point. I'm going to cross mine, but you can take them out long, whatever feels good. Make sure that you're sat up nice and tall and you've just got those neutral curves of your spine. Our spine's not naturally straight, so when we say sit up straight, we mean straight for your spine. You're going to have those dips and those rounds. And then we're going to take the fingertips and we're going to gently draw them in toward the back of your wrist. Not a big pull, just a gentle pull in. And then we're going to go the other way and take the fingertips towards the inside of your wrist. Now here, if you're finding it uncomfortable to sit on the floor, you could get that cushion that I mentioned again. Sit on that, and that's going to make sure that we're taking a little bit of the angle out of the hip flexors so they're not working so hard. And then let's just have a little rotation of that wrist. And then let's do the other side. Bring the fingertips in towards your wrist. Breathe as you do this. And then take the fingertips towards the back of your wrist. And rotate the wrist. Good. And then take your ear towards your shoulder. Shoulders low. Come up through centre. And ear to your other shoulder. Through centre and bring your chin into your chest. And then just take your hands, lace the fingers together and rest them on the back of your head. That weight of your hands gently stretching the back of your neck. Perfect. Okay, we're going to go into a Pilates Mermaid now, which I've slightly adapted to bring in the ballet aspect to it, so it has a really lovely ballet flow about it. Now this is our mermaid leg position, so we have one knee and hip turned out to the back. If that feels uncomfortable on your hip at all, then just sit with your legs round to the front, like this perhaps, or like this. Just adapt it. You can adapt anything I do to suit you. And then we're going to lift the same hand as the bent knee at the front, up and over. Inhale. Now as you exhale, hands down, chest between the hands. Inhale, over, stretch. Exhale, hands down, chest lowers. And carry on now, flowing with that movement as you breathe. So you continue. This is a really good exercise to do near the end of your session. It's very flowing and continuous movement. It's a great way of stretching and rotating, but it also still works your core really well. So you're just feeling that, it's almost like a massaging of your internal organs. All that rotation, stretch and pull. I'm going to join in with you again now. I'm inhaling, stretching over, I'm exhaling, lowering. Okay, and this one's the last one. Drop the hand, roll the shoulders front to back. Perfect. And then swing those legs around. Or if you've just got them at the front, leave them where they are. And when you're in this mermaid position, make sure you're still up on top of your seat bones, so we haven't put all that weight or emphasis on the front hip. And reach up and stretch. Inhale and exhale down. Inhale up, over, and exhale down. Chest between hands. And the beauty of any of these exercises is that they're all adaptable to your own level and your own needs. So if you're a little less flexible in some of the areas, you just do it to a depth that feels good for you. So everything should feel like a deep stretch, but not painful, no snapping feelings. It should just feel comfortable and deep in the muscles. Hopefully you're still flowing and you haven't stopped. You're inhaling up and over and exhaling down. And take it over one last time. Inhale over and down and shoulder roll. Good stuff. Okay, we've done really well today and we've really encompassed the whole body in every exercise that we've done. It's a lot to fit in an hour. It's quite a dynamic, fast-moving class. I'm going to end here with some development stretches for your legs, and then we're going to go into the relaxation phase. So, and this is important, don't skip this bit, it's really important to have a good stretch out. So I'm going to take my feet apart and you can go as far as feels good for you. It doesn't have to be this far apart. And as also, you can bend your knees a little bit if you need to. So here, we're going to turn toward the leg. We're going to run the fingertips along the floor. We're going to run them up the wall, and then we're going to bring them in line with the ears. And you're just as low as feels good for your legs. And what I want you to do is make sure you're not overly roundy your spine. So we've got quite a straight line, we're hinging at the hips. Good, feeling that in the back of the legs? Take it through centre, staying in the stretch. You may need to ease out a little bit for centre, that's fine. Keep those arms in line with your ears. Don't dip your head to the other leg. Run those fingers along the wall to the floor, sit up. So see how you didn't hunch your shoulders there, did you? You kept them pulled back, you kept your shoulder blades sliding down your back. Let's do it on this side. Slide the fingertips along the floor, up the wall, in line with your ears. Shoulder blades sliding down your back. Now if you're feeling really good about that stretch, you could go a bit deeper. Come through centre, stay in the stretch, don't let it go. Come to the other leg. Holding it there. Running the fingertips down the wall, down the floor, sitting up. How's that? Good. Give your legs a little shake off. Take the tension out. Okay everybody, we are ready for our relaxation now. So hopefully you've got a space at home where it's nice and peaceful and there are no dogs going to come and lie on your tummy while you do this like my dog does. So a quiet space would be ideal. In fact, I'm going to turn this music down while I talk to you here for a moment. Perhaps turn the lights down of the room as well, so you haven't got any of that light coming into your eyelids. You could put on some comfy socks, a jumper even, or go and get a blanket. Pause me and come back when you're ready to start your relaxation. Welcome to the relaxation phase of today's class. You can start in a position which feels comfortable for you, either seated or lying down. I'll talk you through the lying down position. Roll slowly through your spine to the floor, one vertebrae at a time. When you get to the floor, keep your legs slightly parted, either flat to the floor or with your knees bent, giving your legs space. Lift your chin from your chest so that your airways are completely open and the oxygen you breathe now can flow through your body and replenish you without any restrictions. Close your eyes. As you close your eyes, you do not squeeze them, so there's no tension in your temples and no deep furrows in your brow. With your eyes closed, you begin to clear your mind. As you inhale, you bring in new energy for your body. And as you exhale, you clear away any heaviness, any fog from your mind. Breathe it away, far away on a long exhale. The next few minutes are your you time. A time to be in the present, the here and now. Thoughts of the past and of the future are left behind as you connect your mind and body and become aware of how your body feels right now. Imagine in your stomach a balloon. Each time you breathe in, the balloon inflates, and as you breathe out, the balloon deflates, flattens. Now begin to let the tension go from the soles of your feet. Your feet work hard, they carry the weight of your body, but right now your feet are weightless. Your heels gently pressing into the floor without heaviness. No tension in your ankles, and your calf muscles feel soft, relaxed. Your knees are released. and your thighs feel light. Your legs are light, so light they could just drift away. And now you allow your pelvic bowl to relax. Imagine your pelvis opening up a little and sinking down into the floor. And as you relax and breathe, your core does this too. So with every breath you take, you feel the gentle movements of your core. You may want to place a hand on your abdomen and feel the way your belly rises in your hand and lowers as you breathe. This is a great way to bring attention deep inside. Imagine your rib cage is like a flower on a sunny day. Your rib cage expands open like the petals of the flower, so that inside all of your vital organs can function without being compressed. And with every breath you take, your chest rises and it falls. Chest rises and falls. And that is a calming feeling. Now let that tension drop out of your shoulders. Drop your shoulders into the ground. Let your arms become light by your sides. Palms open and fingertips soft. There's no tension in your neck or your scalp. In fact, feel your hair follicles tingle as your scalp relaxes. This feeling of relaxed and openness in your body travels from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. And as you breathe, you restore. You feel the oxygen, the energy flow through your body, down through your spine. And you exhale tension, heaviness, weight. Deep within, you have a strength. You have a strength to observe and to tackle anything that comes your way head on. You have the strength deep within. Let your mind and body be connected and relaxed. And now gently begin to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And as you wiggle your fingers and toes, you're allowing the feeling to bubble back up to the surface of your body. Wiggling fingers and wiggling toes, you are reawakening the extremities of your body. And then slide your feet up so your feet connect with the floor, soles of the feet into the ground. And then hug your knees up towards your centre. As you hug your knees, circle them around. Circle your knees with your hands to bring warmth back into your spine and pelvis. Do this in both directions. And then drop your knees over to the side and lie over on one shoulder. And bring yourself around to seated slowly when you're ready. Take your time. And bring your hands together into Namaste, the prayer position from yoga. To the centre of our forehead, we think the truth. To our lips, we speak the truth. And to our hearts, we feel the truth. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your hour of time with me. I am honoured. I hope you'll join me again soon for another Pilates Fusion session. Right now, when you're watching this video, I offer sessions on Monday evenings at 7:30 at Launceston Town Hall and on Thursday nights at 6:10 p.m. at Lifton Community Centre.